Daily Bible Time, Wednesday morning, and Dominic Steele. And good morning. And yesterday we were looking at the verse in chapter 6 of Galatians, verse 2, carry one another's burdens, and in this way you'll fulfill the law of Christ. And so today we move on from that. We see the apostle developing the argument. Let me read it to you. Galatians 6 verse 3, if anyone considers himself to be something when he's nothing, he deceives himself. Let each person examine his own work, and then he can take pride in himself alone, and not compare himself with someone else. For each person will have to carry his own load. Now, let's work through those two verses slowly. The implication seems to be that if we do not or will not bear one another's burdens, it's because we think we're above that. And I was reminded, I'm reading this sentence, if anyone considers himself to be something when he's nothing, he deceives himself. It reminded me of these paragraphs relating to last Friday's installation of Archbishop-elect Raphael. There was a knock at the cathedral door just moments after the afternoon rehearsal for the consecration and inauguration of Kanishka Raphael. The door was opened by the Archbishop-elect himself. Would you like a cup of coffee? He said to the person at the door, one of the many people in difficulties who take shelter around the cathedral. Do you take sugar? The about-to-be Archbishop said as he went off to make the coffee himself. It seemed fitting that only 4 hours later, before the Governor-General, politicians and leaders of other religious denominations, he was giving a sermon urging humility before the cross of Jesus. For if anyone considers himself to be something when he's nothing, he deceives himself. In the final line of Archbishop Raphael's address on Friday night, he said, do not let the paraphernalia obscure the message. Do not be deceived. At the foot of the cross, which is all the world to me, I'm nothing more and nothing less than a grateful and forgiven sinner. Though I've been given particular responsibilities, I have no higher dignity or title than child or God. You come back to that line again. If anyone considers himself to be something when he's nothing, he deceives himself. And I just thought Kanishka at that point was a good example to me, to you, of this verse. Know your place. Who am I? I'm a child of God. I'm a forgiven sinner, standing at the foot of the cross. Now we come to verse 4, and let each person examine his own work, and then he can take pride in himself alone, and not compare himself with someone else, for each person will have to carry his own load. Instead of scrutinizing our neighbour and comparing ourselves to them, we're to be responsible for my own life, my own ministry before God. Reflect on that. You responsible for your life and ministry before God on the final day. Me, I'm responsible for my life and ministry before God on the final day. I think that's what's meant by verse 5. Each person will have to carry his own load. Yeah, we help each other, we assist each other back in verse 2 by carrying each other's burdens, but there's a burden or a load that we cannot share, and as Stott says, we don't need to, because it's a pack light enough for every person to carry himself. And that is our responsibility to God on the day of judgment. On that day, you can't carry my pack and I can't carry yours. Each man, each person will have to bear his own load. Thanks for joining us on Daily Bible Time this Wednesday morning. See you Thursday, and do remember your intergenerational gift form this weekend.